Hey, welcome back. So now let us see the spherical capacitors here. So in the previous classes we discussed about the parallel plate capacitors and the spherical capacitors. Now let us see about the spherical capacitors. And actually in JEE advanced they will mention the syllabus only like parallel plate capacitors, but you should also have the idea about this spherical capacitors also, because these concepts are similar to that of capacitors concepts what we discussed now. So just we discuss some basic concepts and the basic problems related to the spherical capacitors here. So now about this isolated capacitor we already discussed that. Again I am reminding that suppose if you are taking an isolated sphere having that radius r and charge q is given to that, then we can write its capacitance as q by c, q by v, and with that v value potential on the surface of the sphere we can write as 4 pi epsilon naught r, and so that the c value will be equal to capacitance of isolated sphere will be equal to 4 pi epsilon naught r. You will get C is directly proportional to R. This is already over for us. We already discussed it, and we discussed some problems also based on the sharing of charges involving these isolated spheres. Now let us see the actual our spherical capacitors. Right now this is our spherical capacitor. That means we are taking here two concentric spherical shells of inner radius A, that means of radius A inner shell, and outer shell radius is B. We are taking A and B are to separate concentric metallic spherical shells. So first mention that. Consider two concentric consider here, and again note this, and for this I think information is not required, it is already over for us, just it is a revision of that. Now for this note that consider two concentric spherical shells A and B having a radii A, small a and small b respectively. The outer shell B is grounded, the outer shell B is grounded, and let Q be the charge given to the inner shell A. Let Q be the charge given to the inner shell A. So now here in capacitance calculation here we need to calculate the potential difference between those two plates in case of our parallel plates, and so in case of these spheres spherical shells we need to calculate the potential difference between these two spherical shells. As we know the potential of a spherical object formula already, so you can write the potential on the surface of A, and you can write the potential on surface of B, and you can find the difference between them. So that is one way of finding the potential difference. But here I am calculating in terms of this electric field here, so that it is a common procedure for all type of further problems also you can apply such a similar procedure here, right? So in terms of the field I am calculating the potential difference. So now I am taking this field here. Actually this field at this point will be there only due to this inner shell here, that we know already this concept. This E2 value will be 0 here. Just I am taking it as a resultant of those two fields, but E2 value will be 0, because for this this point, for this shell it becomes an internal point, and we know inside the spherical shell electric field is 0. So at this point only this field is produced by this shell A only. Due to that shell B it is 0, and so that that E is equal to E1 you will get, because E2 value is 0. That E is nothing but Q by 4 pi epsilon naught into R square we need to write, potential outside the spherical shell. And so now you know the EV relation, and so from that we are going to calculate the potential difference. So then EV relation is this one. So now I am taking the limits from A to B, so that here VA and VB you will get. And so then VB minus VA is equal to, just here the constants I am writing outside, so the only variable is R square, 1 by R square here, so we need to integrate that one. And this side I am taking this negative sign common here, so this side you can write this as, instead of VB minus VA, now I am writing it as VA minus VB, because this VA is higher potential when compared to that of this B, and so that the negative sign will be cancelled here. Then you will get this minus 1 by R integration, and after substituting these limits you will get 1 by A minus 1 by B you will get, and you can simplify it as B minus A by AB you can write. And this is nothing but our potential difference required here. So the potential difference required is given by this. Now we are using our capacitance definition. So therefore this capacitance is equal to Q by delta V, you can write Q by V, or potential difference, that V is nothing but. You can substitute this, so finally you will get this expression here. C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught into AB by B minus A. So that is a capacitance of a spherical capacitors, right? So whenever you are taking the two concentric spheres, then capacitance between them is given by that expression here, 4 pi epsilon naught into AB by B minus A, where A is the radius of the inner shell and B is the radius of the outer shell, right? So this is the spherical capacitance expression for us, and which is important and which is required for us. And so now in this I am taking an extension, like an additional case I am taking here. So the additional case is nothing but this one. So we mentioned that information here clearly, that case C. An earthed spherical shell, when an earthed spherical shell, this is the earthed spherical shell, this A is earthed here, it is connected to the ground, or sometimes they will mention this wire outside and here it is grounded. So whatever the meaning here it is grounded. When an earthed spherical shell is surrounded by a thick spherical shell, thick, that means there we are taking A and B having, that means that B is having inner and outer surface. This B is only one surface only. This is totally like one spherical shell only here. This is the thickness we need to mention here. Surrounded by a thick spherical shell B of inner radius B and outer radius C. Then capacitance of such a system is given by. So we are calculating now capacitance of such a system. And so first of all here you need to identify that, so in this system there are two capacitors over there here. So why two capacitors means, between A and inner surface of B you may consider one capacitor, and similarly between outer surface of B and infinity you may consider another capacitor here. So whenever generally that outer surface is not grounded, so we consider it as an isolated capacitor, similar to that of our first case here. So we consider the capacitance between the outer surface and infinity. And why we are not considering in this case means, in this previous case means, so here you can observe that this outer surface itself is grounded here. So then potential of this point will be equal to 0, outer shell is equal to 0. And now potential of infinity is also 0. So between them there is no potential difference here, and so no need of considering such a capacitance there. So whenever outer surface is grounded, no need of considering any capacitance for this outer surface. Only between these two we need to consider here, inner surface and inner shell we need to consider here. So but here this outer surface is not connected to the ground, and so there will be some potential difference between the outer surface of this B and infinity. So that we need to consider that as another capacitor. So that is nothing but what I mentioned here, two capacitors. I am mentioning the capacitance of two capacitors. So between A and inner surface of B, that I am taking as C1. So for this you can apply directly this formula here, because it is a spherical concentric spheres only. So in that concentric spheres, whenever you are getting that concentric spheres, the spherical capacitance of two concentric spheres means directly you can apply this formula here. Epsilon naught 4 pi epsilon naught into AB by B minus C you can apply between those two surfaces, irrespective of which is grounded. So then if any inner is grounded or outer is grounded, you may get the difference in the net effective capacitance, you may get the difference there. But the capacitance between those two spherical surfaces is always given by this expression, 4 pi epsilon naught into AB by B minus A you will get between those two surfaces. Whether inner surface may be grounded, inner sphere may be grounded, or outer sphere may be grounded. So between those two surfaces capacitance is given by that. If grounding is different, then effective capacitance may differ there. So that is nothing but what we are doing here. See, observe this. So that means now the capacitance between A and inner surface of B is given by this expression. Now capacitance of outer surface, capacitance between outer surface of B and infinity, that is nothing but our first case here, isolated sphere. We need to take that as, because here that is nothing but what we are taking here. We are finding the potential difference B, we are writing it as between this and surface of that sphere, and infinity we are taking there. So here also the same thing we need to write here, so that it can be treated as. So our conclusion here is, when outer surface is not connected to the ground, so when you are considering the capacitance of this outer surface, you can treat it as an isolated capacitor. Is it clear? So that we are writing that capacitance as 4 pi epsilon naught C I am writing here. So now we need to identify, so that is the two capacitors over there and the capacitance of those two systems we mentioned there. Next we need to identify whether they are in series or in parallel. So we know the basic conditions when the capacitors are said to be in series and when capacitors are said to be in parallel. So parallel means potential difference should be remain same, and series means same path should be there, and so that same amount of charges should exist on them, and so that here you can identify that whatever the potential difference is there between A and the inner surface of B, and the same potential difference will be there between outer surface of this B and infinity also, right? Suppose I am taking this this potential of this B as some 10 volts, for example. Here I am taking it as 10 volts. Now the potential difference between A and the inner surface of B is 10 volts because A is grounded, right? It is 0. And now this outer surface of B is also at same 10 volts only, because metal surface is an equipotential. If the surface of this metal potential of B is 10 volts, means either you may consider the inner surface or you may consider the outer surface, its potential will be 10 volts only, because metal is a equipotential. And so now the potential difference between this outer surface and infinity is again 10 volts only, because outer surface infinity is also 0 only, potential of infinity is also 0 only. So whatever the potential difference exists between inner surface of B and A, the same potential difference will exist between outer surface and infinity also. So we can conclude that those are in parallel. So I am concluding that now C1 and C2 are in parallel, because you may mention that because the potential difference across C1 and across C2 are same. So that we are concluding that as both are in parallel. Therefore C effective is equal to C1 plus C2 I am writing here. So that means now from this you can write this as C1 and C2 expressions, just you can substitute. I am taking it as 4 pi epsilon naught common. Now here you may get some case like when B and C are equal. Like B and C are equal means if the shell B is a thin shell, the thickness of the shell is negligible. So then you can replace this C with the B, and you can take LCM here, then you are getting this expression here. If you are taking this here, replace this C with the B, and so B square, if you are taking LCM, B square minus AB you will get, minus AB you will get, so AB term will be cancelled, B square by B minus A you will get. So that is nothing but the case if you ask a question like what will happen if the inner surface of this B is grounded. So what will happen means, then that is a capacitance here, effective capacitance. Effective capacitance is given by this. So that means whether you may consider the inner or outer, the effective capacitance you may calculate like this. But between two concentric spherical surfaces, the capacitance of between those two surfaces means we need to write like this. That means between this surface and this surface, the effective capacitance is given by 4 pi epsilon naught AB by B minus A we need to write, irrespective of whether inner surface is grounded or outer surface is grounded. If outer surface is grounded, effective itself is also given by this only. If inner is grounded, if inner sphere is grounded, as we discussed here, then this will be the effective capacitance. Effective capacitance of the system is given by this expression here. Is it clear? So that is the case now. That means this case is nothing but what I am saying here is, so here A and B will be there like this. Now only this A is grounded here. This is the case what we are discussing here. See, if A is grounded, which is opposite to this, case here, if outer surface is grounded, then we are saying capacitance is this one. If inner sphere is grounded, then effective capacitance is given by this. The capacitance between this inner surface and this inner surface of B and A will be still, you can apply the same. Here additionally, outer surface will also possess one capacitance, which is nothing but 4 pi epsilon naught B we need to write, because B and C are now equal what we are taking. So that you will get this expression here. So there is a capacitance of the spherical capacitance calculation here. So this formula is important and you need to remember these expressions here, right? So now let us see some problems based on this here. Now let us see the problems based on this spherical capacitors here. So write this problem. The find capacitance of the following system if space between the shells is completely filled. In that first condition it is A. If space between the shells is completely filled with the dielectric, of dielectric constant K. And the second one, if the space between the shells is filled partially as shown in the figure. That means we need to answer the capacitance of the system, that means two concentric spherical shell system, when it is completely filled with the dielectric and when it is partially filled with the dielectric. And so when it is completely filled with the dielectric, we know already in case of parallel plate capacitors also we discussed that simply what we can conclude is the capacitance of the system will increase by k times. So simply you can write this as whatever the previously we derived the capacitance 4 pi epsilon naught into A by AB by B minus A. So we need to multiply that with the k, so that gives the capacitance of the system when it is completely fills the space between the two plates. And next year I am taking that when it is partially filled. Partially filled means it is given like this. This is the given information. It is also filled like a concentric sphere only of radius c. So until that it is filled with the dielectric here. So this is the dielectric medium. So this is the air medium. So here air is there. Air or vacuum you may consider here, right? So then it is partially filled. So then in that case we can consider it as a now two capacitors again we can consider here. So up to this you can consider as one capacitor, and between these two you can consider it as another capacitor here, right? So then capacitance between A and C, suppose this is surface A and this is surface C and this is B. Now capacitance between A and C I am writing here. So A and C means then again we can treat this as a two concentric spherical shells and which is completely filled with the dielectric. So that I am applying that formula here, 4 pi epsilon k epsilon naught into AC by C minus A. Then only these two surfaces you need to consider. Next between C and B you need to write. So that is an air filled capacitor. So again you can consider that as a spherical capacitor formula here. 4 pi epsilon naught into BC by B minus C we need to write. Now this C1 and C2 are in series we need to consider here. Whatever the charge appearing on this, the same amount of charge will be there here because we connect between inner surface and these two surfaces are connected to this battery terminals here. And so that the charge appearing on this surface and this surface will be same. That means this positive terminal of the battery. Suppose here this positive terminal of the battery is connected here, say negative terminal is connected here. So then charge appearing on this surface and this surface will be same here. And so that then you can consider them as in series. So that those two plates you may consider, that means those two capacitors you may consider them as in series. So C1, C2 are in series means effective capacitance C1 plus C2. And just you need to substitute that C1 and C2 values here. Substitute that C1 and C2 values here and simplify here by taking the terms common, and here I am taking LCM so that C minus B and C minus A and B minus C terms will be cancelled. And so finally you will get this expression here, the effective capacitance, right? So that is about this problem when partially filled and completely filled case if we consider in case of the spherical capacitors. Now let us see this problem. Now it is half filled like this. So right. So now let us write this formula here. Actually they will give the problem like if it is half filled like this with the dielectric K1. Now we are completely filling with the another dielectric having some constant K dash, dielectric constant K dash. Now if the capacitance in both the cases is same, then we need to find the K dash value. In terms of that K we need to find here, right? So write that problem, this problem. The space between the two concentric spherical shells A and B is half filled with the dielectric of dielectric constant K, half filled with the dielectric of dielectric constant K. If the capacitance of this system, is equals to capacitance of a same system, capacitance of the same system when space between the shells is completely filled with the dielectric of dielectric constant K dash, then find the value of K dash. Is it clear? So the actual case is given this one, it is half filled. Now we are taking another case like the capacitance is completely filled here. The space between them is completely filled. This total space is completely filled with this another material. Now this material K dash I am taking here. This radius or same A and B. Now what I am saying is, I am saying that capacitance in this case and capacitance in this case is same. So we need to find the capacitance of that means K dash value we need to find here. So actually in this you need to identify how to calculate capacitance in this system when it is half filled. So that is important in this. First I am calculating the capacitance when it is completely filled. I am calculating here K dash value. So let's suppose sigma I am taking it as sigma as a surface charge density on the inner surface. That means this surface I am taking as plus sigma. Then automatically minus sigma will be there on that opposite charge will be there on this surface here. Opposite equal and opposite charge will be there on that surface. So here on the inner surface I am assuming it as some sigma here, right? And so now that potential difference we need to calculate here. This calculation is we did already in the derivation of this capacitance. This total that calculation of capacitance only. Once again I am writing this. So that is Q by 4 pi epsilon naught into 1 by A minus 1 by B I am writing. And so now this Q value we are writing in terms of the sigma here. So this is sigma into 4 pi A square by 4 pi epsilon naught. This is a Q value. Into that value you will get. So finally potential difference is this value. Now I am writing this capacitance Q by delta V. And this Q value is sigma into 4 pi A square by this delta V means I am substituting this. This is nothing but what we get here. That means capacitance of the concentric spherical shells. That means concentric spherical shell or a spherical capacitor capacitance you will get. Now this is completely filled with the dielectric. So that now I am writing that capacitance of such a system here. So then we know capacitance of this capacitor will increase by K times. So that directly you can write, right? And so next here this part is important here actually. So this part is nothing but when the capacitor is half filled as shown. That means if it is filled like this, then the total capacitance of that system you can write like this directly here. The capacitance, that means the total charge by potential difference I am writing here. So actually for this only this calculation I am writing here. Otherwise this expression you can directly write from our previous problem here. This directly you can mention this C1 expression here. And so now let us see this calculation here. This total charge. So the total charge means charge on this charge here and a charge here. Suppose say this Q1 is a charge here and Q2 is a charge here. That means Q1 is a charge on this lower hemisphere and Q2 is a charge on the upper hemisphere. And we discussed already in parallel plate capacitor also when dielectric is only half filled, charge on the above and charge on below will be different. That we discussed already in our previous problem in case of previous classes in case of parallel plate capacitor. So now here also what will happen is when the dielectric is introduced here, the charge on the inner surface, that means charge on the lower hemisphere and charge on the upper hemisphere will be different. So I am writing separately the expressions for that. So charge on the lower hemisphere we can write as if sigma is the surface charge density, then 2 pi A square, the surface area of the lower hemisphere into sigma into K. So we know when the dielectric is introduced, the charge will increase by K times, that we discussed already. And so now the charge on the upper surface means then 2 pi A square into sigma you can write. The potential difference, the same potential difference we can write here because we are maintaining the same potential difference between those two shells there. And so that then potential difference is the same expression I am writing here. Now we can simplify this. Then you will get this expression here 1 plus K by 2 into 4 pi epsilon naught into AB by B minus A. So that means sometimes in this problem only they will ask the capacitance of this system. Then this is the answer for this. 1 plus K by 2 into 4 pi epsilon naught into AB by B minus A you will get. Now in this problem, now I am giving the condition like if these two cases are having the same capacitance, then K dash value I am asking here. So then the C2 and the C1 both are equal here. If C1 and C2 are equal, now we can observe that then this is nothing but our additional value here. That means this K dash value we can write as K plus 1 by 2. That is the capacitance of dielectric constant of this capacitance, this dielectric must be. So that means this calculation is important here, C2 calculation. So sometimes I will ask only about this C2 here. Then this is a way of calculating the capacitance of the system, right? So it is some problems based on this spherical capacitors. Now let us see the capacitance of a cylindrical capacitor now. Like we are taking that two cylindrical shells here, and those two are concentric cylindrical shells having this radius A and B, and their length is actually very large when compared to that of radius of the cylinders here. So first to mention, write that information there. Consider two concentric cylindrical shells. Consider two long concentric cylindrical shells. Consider two long concentric cylindrical shells of radii A and B. Of radii A and B, respectively. The outer cylinder is grounded, the outer cylinder is grounded. Let plus lambda and minus lambda be the charged densities, be the linear charged densities on the inner and outer cylinders respectively, on the inner and outer cylindrical shells respectively. So now we are taking a point here, a point P, let us name this. So we are writing the electric field at that point here. So now mention about that. Consider a point P in between the cylinders. Consider a point P in between the cylinders. Then electric field at this point is given by. So again similar to that of our previous shells. So in cylinders we also know that inside the cylinder it will be field will be cylindrical shell. The field will be 0, electric field will be 0, and so that there will be no electric field due to this outer shell here, because for this point lies inside of that. Only this inner shell will produce the field at that point there, so that that field due to that long cylindrical shell is nothing but we can use this expression here, lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught r. So here you need to note that or remember that we are taking that long cylindrical shells here, so that the radius is negligible when compared to that of a length of the cylinders there. So that then this is a field expression. Then we know the EV relation. From that we are going to calculate the potential difference here. So the potential difference integral of dV is equal to minus integral of E into that E is nothing but lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught r into dr. And the limits we are taking from A to B. From A to B we are integrating here, so that this side you will get VA and VB. And we know that this lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught is a constant, so that you can write outside 1 by r integration will be ln you will get. So ln r and limits are from A to B. So you can write this as ln b by a you will get. So this is nothing but we need to write potential difference. VA is larger there, so VA minus VB I am writing here, so that this negative sign will be cancelled. So VA minus VB will be equal to lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught into ln b by a. And now we know the capacitance expression. So the capacitance we can write this as Q by delta V we need to write. So Q value here we are assuming suppose a length of the cylinder as L, for example. If length of the cylinder as L, if you are considering here, then this charge on this we can write it as lambda into L we can write here, because that lambda we are taking it as a charge per unit length. So into length of that part I am writing there. And so now this is lambda by L, and so this lambda will be cancelled. So you will get Q by, that means 2 pi epsilon naught into L by this ln B by A you will get. But in general for the cylindrical capacitors we express that capacitance in terms of capacitance per unit length. And so now the capacitance per unit length we can write it as, just we need to write that L that side. So then C by L is equal to 2 pi epsilon naught by ln B by A you will get. So that is the capacitance of that our cylindrical capacitor. So similar procedure, just that E expression is different when compared to that of spherical and cylinder. So similar procedure, just we are writing the E expression and then we are writing this potential difference, and from that we are writing the capacitance, right? If the space between them is completely filled with the dielectric, then capacitance will increase by just K times A, then 2 pi K epsilon naught by ln B by A we need to write if it is completely filling there, right? Now write down these two problems here, and these are important problems here. So note down this. Two long cylindrical wires, this problem. So two long cylindrical wires, each of radius A, are separated by a distance D, are placed parallel to each other at a separation D. Then find the capacitance between these two cylindrical wires. Right, so that is a given question. We need to calculate the capacitance between those two cylindrical wires, where the long those are the long wires there. So for that what we need to consider is we need to assume some charge here. So suppose I am assuming some lambda is the plus lambda is the charge on one cylindrical wire, or minus lambda is the charge on another cylindrical wire we are assuming, because the capacitor in the two plates of the capacitor will carry always equal and opposite charges, right? And so then here we need to calculate, our aim is to calculate the potential difference only. To find the capacitance, we need to calculate the potential difference. So that for that I am writing the electric field here. So this electric field at this point we can write as electric field due to this positive charge will be away from the charge, and electric field due to this negative charge will be towards the charge here. And so that both are in same direction, so we are adding them. Net electric field at that point means, so due to positive charge means lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught r, and due to this negative charge means 2 pi epsilon naught, this distance we need to write here. That distance will be d minus r you will get. So write this distance of the point P from the center of the axis of this second cylinder. And so now there is a net field here. Just by our EV relation we need to find the potential difference. So then dV, integral of dV is equal to integral of E into dr. Now that E value I am substituting there, lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught r. Now this value I am writing here, 1 by r plus 1 by d minus r dr. So then integration of this we need to write here, and here I am taking the negative sign. This is we are doing the from the beginning of this class here. Then VA minus VB we need to find here. So that negative sign will be cancelled. Then here integration will be ln r you will get, and here integration will be ln minus ln d minus r you will get, because here minus r is there, d minus r is there. So the negative sign you will get here. Now substitute the limits. We need to integrate from here, the limits you need to observe that here we need to integrate from this surface to this surface only. Only from here to here we need to integrate here, because inside this conductor there is no any capacitance. We can't define that capacitance there because the field is 0 or the potential difference is 0. Only in the space we can define here. Only in this space we can define there. And so that that's limits we are taking from here means then r is equal to a, and from here means d minus a. So that is the limits what we are taking here, a to d minus a means. And so next here this ln r, and then this ln r limits just I am substituting here, and I am substituting the limits. You need to simplify that. So here 2 into this value you will get, and so here I am cancelling the 2 here. So finally our potential difference is lambda by pi epsilon naught into ln d minus a by a you will get. And so that then C is equal to our capacitance definition, Q by delta V. That Q value again we can write as lambda L by assuming L as the length of the wire. And as I said in the previously, we express like capacitance per unit length we write here for the cylindrical capacitors. So pi epsilon naught by ln d minus a, ln d minus a by a, where d is the distance between the axis of the two cylindrical wires, and a is the radius of that each wire there. So that is the capacitance per unit length of the cylindrical wires. Now such a same problem is there in case of spheres. So now write this problem here. So now both are similar only. All this procedure is similar only. Need to identify that procedure there. We are finding the field, then potential difference, then we are defining the capacitance. So write this: two identical metal spheres, each of radius a, or separated by a distance d, then find the capacitance. Between the two spheres. So here also our procedure is same, to find the capacitance between the two spheres, or sometimes I will mention like express the capacitance if d is very large, or mention that also. Express the capacitance of the system. Write this when d is very much larger than that of a. Right. So in that case also we need to write the capacitance. So our procedure is same as that of our previous problem. So just the expression for electric field only will differ there. So here again I am assuming Q is the charge present on this, and minus Q will be the charge on that. So because those two plates should carry the equal and opposite charges there. Then we are writing the electric field at this point here. So again the same condition, electric field due to this positive charge away from the charge, and electric field due to this negative charge towards the charge. So E plus and E minus both are in the same direction. So net field means we need to add them. So simply here spherical field due to the sphere we need to write here. So Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square you will get. So then for this it is r square, and for this sphere again this distance will be d minus r you will get. So d minus r whole square. Then same we know the relation, EB relation, from that we are integrating this so that you will get the potential difference here. And again here limits we need to consider from this surface of this sphere to until here. So only this between these two we need to consider here. So this point is r is equal to a, this point is r is equal to d minus a. From this d we need to subtract this a value here. So that those are the limits here, a to d minus a. Then again integrate this equation here, you will get minus 1 by r and plus 1 by d minus r you will get. And on substituting these limits, you will get finally this expression here. Do this calculation, just limit substitutions. Then you will get this expression here, q by 2 pi epsilon naught into d minus 2a by a into d minus a you will get. Now just we are using our capacitance expression here. Therefore capacitance is q by delta v, and therefore C is equal to 2 pi epsilon naught into a into d minus a by d minus 2a you can write. And this is the capacitance of the system here. This is the capacitance of the system if d is the separation between them, and if d is very large, then this d minus a value, that a value is very small when compared to that of d, and so you can neglect this a value here. So here d you will get, and similarly here also you can neglect that a value here or 2a value when compared to that of d, and so that then here d and here d will be cancelled. So you will get 2 pi epsilon naught a you will get. So that is the capacitance when the d is very large here. So if d is very large, then capacitance is approximately equal to 2 pi epsilon naught a we can write. So it is the capacitance of the system here. So that is about this cylindrical and spherical capacitors here. Just you need to note the formula how to derive that. So for all of them, whether it is spherical capacitance or cylindrical capacitors, our procedure is common only. Like we are calculating the field, then from that we are calculating the potential difference, then we are defining this capacitance just by using q by delta v here. So that is a procedure even for the problems or even for the derivation of that capacitance expressions there, right? So that is about this capacitors here. So then the next we need to discuss about CR circuits. About CR circuits I will explain in the next class. Thank you.